and welcome to Grateful Rescue TV. I'm Pamela Terhune with my dear friend Patty Spittler, and we have little Harry and Stewie.
Now, Stewie, of course, my Bernese Mountain Dog from a responsible breeder, and also Harry from Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary. And it's been several weeks now, so I think he knows he's home.
I think he's home.
I think he's home.
He looks very at home.
He certainly made a big difference for Stewie, who's getting a little up there in doggy years, so
He's acting like a puppy again, though.
Yes! Oh, he is. He's wiggly. That's good. So now that we've had many episodes of Grateful Rescue, I want to go back a little bit and find out what inspired you to do this amazing thing.
What inspired me, Patty, was firsthand experience of the dogs in the shelters, the extreme stress, and the fact that I know whenever dogs get more love and more freedom, they are happier and they're more adoptable.
Yes.
So,
and you even gave me a term, kennelitis?
Kennelitis.
It's when they get...
That's when they go crazy in their cage.
Yeah, I understand.
And we don't cage people, or we don't cage dogs.
We don't cage people either.
We don't cage people either.
Well, there's some people...
Maybe.
So we want to take a look at what inspired you, right?
Yeah, let's take a look.
The dream of Grateful Rescue began the day I walked into the overcrowded, understaffed, and high-stress shelter to adopt a dog. A dog, one dog. A white Dalmatian lab mix they called Big Boy. But when I walked in, I couldn't believe what I saw. Dogs crated everywhere, in the hallways, in the laundry rooms, in the storage rooms, stacked on top of each other. The stench, the stress, the despair, it was all too much. As I passed each dog, they would sit pretty and straight, wagging their tails. But when I would walk on, they would erupt in fierce barking. It was as if they were screaming, "Please help me." It was heartbreaking. I had to get out of there. I couldn't bear it. But as I was leaving, I saw him, cowering in his cage, shaking and terrified. A small coonhound with droopy ears and the saddest eyes I'd ever seen. He wasn't making a peep, just trembling. My heart was breaking. I left the shelter with Big Boy, but I couldn't get that terrified little coonhound off my mind. I cried for him and all the others that night. I went back the next day and I adopted that little coonhound. I named him Samson because I wanted him to be strong. But that wasn't enough. What about all the others? There must be a better way, a less stressful way to keep these homeless animals. We began setting up a living space for dogs on our 22-acre property. We sectioned off different yards for group play, added a climate-controlled home with no cages, rooms, not cages. Then we began pulling dogs from shelters. In the fall of 2019, we purchased an additional 38 acres and made plans to house over 1,000 animals, dogs, cats, and critters. We will make a difference in the way animals are kept, a place where the homeless can enjoy their lives as best they can while they wait for their forever families. No more shaking, no more fear. We are grateful.
A wonderful look at the past, and now let's look to the future. What's going on?
Well, Patty, it's been a long, strange trip since we started the Grateful Rescue expansion plan. And I remember way back whenever we had to go to court to get our special zoning.
Right.
When we got to the courthouse, there was a ton of people lined all the way out the door. I thought, what in the world's going on here? And then when we got into the courtroom, we found out they were supporters of Grateful Rescue.
Oh, they were supporters.
They were supporters, and there was a handful of neighbors that were not happy about it.
Well, probably the noise. They wanted to make sure about that.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure of some things.
Yeah.
That were taken care of.
So once we passed that hurdle, then COVID hit, and that shut us down. It shut the world down as far as getting our fundraising and capital campaign efforts underway.
Oh, yeah.
That stopped everything.
Oh, yeah.
But the need didn't stop, so we continued working from our 22-acre facility, which is not bad. It holds quite a few.
It's beautiful.
It is.
Yeah,
we love it, and everybody's happy. But now, so after that setback, now we're launched into our capital campaign again, and
Great.
and we've had a wonderful resurgence. We've got so much support from wonderful people. You, first and foremost.
Oh, I'm just one. You've got a ton of people who support you.
We do.
You do great work. And again, how many dogs and cats have you rescued?
We've adopted 500 dogs now.
Adopted out over 500 dogs.
From a little place,
Wow.
aspiring to be big.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we've only had 6 returns. And I'll tell you why. It's because of our no stress, loving, different approach to these animals.
You all should go to Pamela's house. There's dogs and cats everywhere just going, this is great, this is great. I could sit on the sofa, this is great.
I'm a
It's
guest
furniture.
there. It's their place.
Well, again, I admire what you do.
Well,
I
thank
know
you.
it's not easy.
Thank
I don't
you.
know how you do it, but I'm glad that you do, and I'm a big supporter.
Well, we're not giving up. We're continuing, and we're building support. And do you know Miranda Lambert's Mutt Nation Foundation recognized us as the #1 shelter in Indiana? And they gave us a grant. And we got support from our community foundation of $50,000. So, and of course, Al Unser Jr. and his wife are running our capital campaign. So I think we got a pretty good team.
And you know who else supports you? Harry.
Harry! Yep, and this is what it's all about, this little guy here, and many more like him, and Stewie.
And Stewie says, thank you for Harry. So we'll be back with more on Grateful TV. Coming up next, the dark world of puppy mills.
And what Grateful Rescue does to save their lives.
Grateful Fest returns for its 3rd year, unleashing the fun on Saturday, October 7th at a new location this year, Morrow's Meadow Park in Yorktown. Admission is free. Bring your pet for a day of fun. Walk in the pet parade. All money raised goes to Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary to save homeless animals. For more info, visit gratefulfest.org.
Grateful Rescue TV, we're so happy to have you join us, and we're talking about something that is very sensitive and very important to talk about. Puppy mills and getting dogs adopted after they have been rescued from these horrible situations. So Pamela knows firsthand what's going on, and you can explain more. I know we're going to cry. It's just awful. The things I've learned, I never thought I would see again. It's just amazing.
It's horrifying. It's horrifying to find out what kind of conditions they live under. They live in dark barns, hot in the summer, cold in the winter, never seeing daylight.
And their feet never touch the ground.
Their feet never touch grass, see sunshine, feel it on their face until we get them out of there.
Okay.
And then we see seniors become puppies.
Okay. And we got several of them rescued. Let's go to Pamela's house now and take a look.
These dogs were all there at the puppy mills for nothing more but to breed. Just breed and breed and breed until they stopped breeding anymore. This is Velvet. Oh, Velvet is a poodle that we got from the puppy mill, and she's very sweet, very calm. She's the calm one of the two.
This is Leela, and Leela only has one eye. A very lovable dog. She's always got her tail wagging, and she loves life. It's actually quite overwhelming, because when I think about what was going to happen to them without somebody coming and taking them, if the angels, I call them angels, wouldn't have went and grabbed them and asked me to take them, they wouldn't be here today. So it really means the world to have these dogs here.
This is Elle. She's a little Chihuahua, around 7 years old. Very, very loving, just loves to be sitting on laps. They never knew what grass was. They never knew what love was. So for them to love us and accept us and let us hold them. That's really big for them because they've never had that in their whole life.
This is Zoe. She's a little timid little girl, but Zoe's 5 years old. But she's coming out of it. She was really timid when we first got her, but she's starting to let people touch her and everything. When Grateful Rescue took them on, you know, Pam knew that they were going to all have to have shots. They were all going to have to be spayed. Most of them need dentals because they've never had any type of dental work.
This is Sugar. She's a Maltese. She's the shyest of all of them. She is finally starting to come out of her shell.
This is Pepper. Pepper's a miniature poodle, and she is the most vocal of the group.
This is Pixie. She's a Yorkie. She's found her voice. That's one thing with a lot of these dogs, they were never allowed to bark. So they were forced to learn not to bark. So slowly, some of these are starting to learn that they can actually bark and not get in trouble.
This is Willow. This is one of our Pomeranian mamas. The second we saw her, she was wagging her tail and everything. Usually it takes weeks for them to start wagging their tails.
Kathy, Sherry, and Debbie, I just want to thank you all for getting these dogs and bringing them to Grateful Rescue. You saved their life.
And here we are at the Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary with Pamela Terhune. Of course, you know that she is the brains and the heart behind this particular place. And all of your vision is coming true. And this is a very exciting day. What's going on today?
Well, as you've been covering, we've got a puppy mill rescue here. And all the puppy mill victims are going home to start a whole new life. They've come from pure darkness in a barn and afraid of the human touch to this. Look at this. Every one of them are so happy.
Look at them now.
I know. Isn't it amazing? This is what love and care can do.
Yes.
They're all so happy with their new owners. And as you can tell, I think the new owners are pretty smitten with them as well.
I think we're all going to cry a little bit here. Okay, I'm going to talk to some of the adopters on this very special day. And this is Belinda.
Yes.
What's your last name?
Nelson, Belinda Nelson.
And this is the new Nelson.
Her name is Willow, and I am welcoming her to my family, to my pack. They're going to get along fine. They'll have their beds in every room and their treats. I'm going to spoil her.
I think Belinda should adopt me. I think that's...
She is a little shy yet.
Do you have other dogs at home?
No, it'll be just me and Sugar. I'm a widow and I need Sugar and Sugar needs me.
Since we just recently became empty nesters, there was a space in the heart that we now are going to fill with a dog.
And you're excited about this too?
Yeah, I've never had a dog ever, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, this is Elle, and my name is Renee Dawson, and I saw her on Facebook and fell in love. And everybody says she's just like the sweetest little thing, and I just can't let her down. I'm gonna spoil her to death.
And you've just added to your family.
We did, yes. We're so excited. We saw him on Facebook, and I begged my husband, please, can I get this puppy?
You knew he was a puppy mill puppy too, and
I
what
did.
he'd been through?
Yes, ma'am. I know.
I know.
But he's good now. We're gonna take good care of him, right, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
So this little girl wouldn't breed, so they didn't want to keep her. The look that they give us once we get them to a safe place is well worth everything. I mean, just like this tears me up because I know they're going to have really good homes. And that's what I want.
She was actually the nicest one of the whole group when we first got her. And I said then, if she doesn't get a home, she was coming home with me.
Continuing with the best of Grateful Rescue TV and talking about the Safe Haven program. Tell me more about that.
Oh, Patty, the Safe Haven program is something that we hold for people that need to have temporary care of their pet.
Okay.
Sometimes it can be a variety of reasons. It could be they need to get out of an abusive relationship, and a shelter won't accept, a battered women's shelter won't accept a dog or cat, and they need care for that animal for their rehabilitation. Or if there's a medical procedure, sometimes there's long-term medical procedures where if they don't have someone to take care of them, they have to surrender them.
Okay.
And active military, if they get deployed, they don't have anybody to take their pets.
Wonderful.
But we do.
Wonderful. That's wonderful.
We do.
Let's take a look.
Here at Grateful Rescue, Pamela offers many resources, but one resource gave one woman peace of mind.
Lucy has been at Grateful Rescue for 12 weeks now under the watchful care of Pamela. Today, after a few months of surgery, Lucy's owner Barbara Ray is coming to see her best friend for the first time in quite a while.
Hi, sweetheart. Hi, sweetheart. I think you've gotten a little grayer.
Lucy has been in Barbara's care and has been her best friend for almost a decade and a half.
Lucy, we rescued her from PetSmart 14 years ago. She and her two sisters were left on railroad tracks to pretty much fend for themselves in a box. Brought her home, and she's been with me ever since. But as she's gotten older, I went on oxygen almost 6 years ago. And so then I had to have Kelly Stewart. She came and walked her 3 days a week because I couldn't walk her. And so that kept her going. But in the last, year or two, things have, as you know, her back legs and the arthritis and things, but she still wants to go, and that's the hardest part, is seeing this. So then when I started the process of lung transplant and thinking about it and all, it was like, what would I do?
What do you do if something major like this happens and you don't have someone to take care of your beloved best friend while you have a major life event like Barbara's double lung transplant? Pamela has a very special program that allows you to sign up for it if you are in need.
It's called the Safe Haven program, and what we do is we take animals for people if they are undergoing a life-changing procedure or rehabilitation. If they, in Lucy's case, she was getting a double lung transplant, so we were going to keep Lucy for up to 12 weeks. And without that service, someone would be faced with either surrendering their animal or boarding it. And a lot of times dogs like Lucy wouldn't be able to withstand that long of a stressful situation. And there's no charge for the service. It's just a way to keep the animals with their parents. I mean, they've spent many years being a responsible pet parent, and they need assistance too sometimes.
Knowing that your pet is being well taken care of is very important, especially when in Barbara's situation, when she needed to focus on herself to get well post-surgery.
It's just the unknowns. 2 months ago, I was scared. But now it's like, it's been a blessing, what all's happened. And I'm so grateful and so thankful, and more people need to know about what is here and because there are people that they have to surrender their animals, or because that was something maybe I would have to give her up to somebody, because I won't be able to take care of her, or maybe she'll go downhill while I'm away, and because she's already, having some issues. But I can't be more thankful, because it's between my family and Alice and everybody that's helped out. And what are the chances of people knowing you and knowing what you had here point me in the right direction.
I think she's so grateful, and we're honored that she trusted us to take Lucy. I remember the first time I spoke to Barb on the phone, she knew she was going to get the call about any time, and we had a plan for me to come meet Lucy. Well, then a couple days later, I received the phone call from her next door neighbor, Alice, and she said, she's gone. She got called to surgery. So then we scrambled to get Lucy here, and it all turned out nice. And then I talked to Barb on the phone after her surgery, and she was so grateful. She couldn't believe that the service existed.
Pamela and her volunteers will make sure that they will help if you have a long stint away from home, may it be surgery, military service, rehabilitation service, or others. Go onto the website and click the Outreach tab, then click Pet Safe Haven tab to find a form to fill out so Grateful Rescue can reach out to you about the program.
I mean, it's everything. All the prayers have been answered. They will continue. But there's that. I still have to worry about that, but I can't. I got to focus on right now, so not worry about down the road. So she'll take care of me, I hope. This is wonderful.
For Grateful Rescue TV, I'm Adam Byers-Dunn.
Grateful TV, and every dog has a story. And you've got a story about Paisley.
Do you remember Paisley?
Yes, I do. Very sweet.
Yes, we got Paisley from a backyard breeder, and she had puppies shortly after. And that was our first litter of puppies, and we took care of her and her puppies for 12 weeks. And I have a guilty pleasure of naming litters, and we'll take a look at that too.
Okay, here we go.
When you get a puppy, you expect them to be cute and tiny like this, but you never expect your kitchen to become something like this.
We were contacted by a breeder, a backyard breeder that was getting evicted. And she had many, many dogs. And she asked us to take 15 of her dogs. Otherwise, the sheriff was going to lock up the property and seize the dogs. And then the 15 turned into 33 because as we were taking them all in to get them fixed, this one, Paisley, whenever they took her in, they said she was going to be having puppies very soon. And then one of the backyard breeder dogs that we had adopted, she had an appointment with her vet to get it spayed, and she got the same news. When she took her dog in to get it spayed, it was expecting puppies, and it had 7. She was malnourished. We couldn't even tell she was expecting puppies, and she had 11 of them. So first thing we had to do was talk to our vet and see what do we do to make sure these puppies survive. And we had to bulk Paisley up on puppy food so that she could be healthy enough to feed her babies and not get sick. And I had to learn how to deliver these puppies in case something went wrong, how to jump in and keep them alive. So the puppies were born 2 weeks apart. These were born first, and then we heard shortly after that the adopter got the same news from her veterinarian that her dog, which was Maggie, was going to have a litter as well.
Since Pamela did not have time to prepare for her puppies, she had to convert part of her kitchen into a whelping box to help the pups keep near their mom and to protect them during their infancy.
So first of all, we did not have the space for the 15 dogs as it was. So they are getting ready to move now that they've jumped out of their whelping box on their own.
When we talked to Pamela, the pups were over just 6 weeks old, and they had grown so fast. They began to outgrow their whelping box, so Pamela has plans to make a nursery for them to play, taking care of not only the backyard bunch and the pups. She's received so much assistance from others.
We had a village of help. We had a fence company from Muncie, City Fence. We had Ruse Holistic Pet Supplies give us things we needed. We had Nathan Lowe, the Indie Dog Whisperer. He helped us with a lot of training because these dogs are very, very frightened of people. They're unsocialized. And we had Red Key Veterinary. They gave us all of the things we needed to know in order to have these puppies without any problems.
Thankfully, these pups didn't grow up in a condition like the 15 backyard breeder dogs that they were in.
As you can tell, they're very socialized, and all these backyard breeder dogs were also once puppies just like this. And they were never held and never loved, and they didn't know what it was like. So this is a whole different litter here than what you would have seen from their ancestors that came from the same breeder, because they know no fear and they don't know hatred. They're all love, right? This is Sydney. And Sydney was named after Sidney Poitier. This is Simon, and Simon was named after Paul Simon, one of my favorite folk singers. And this is little Miss Betty White. She's the runt of the litter, and she was named on Betty White's birthday. This is Ginger, and she was named after Ginger Rogers. She's got a little prance about her that reminds me of a dancer. And this is Peyton, and he's named after my favorite football star, Walter Payton, because he's like the biggest little bear of the bunch. Okay, and this is Liza. Liza was named after Liza Minnelli. She's got that gorgeous silky black hair. And this is Stuart. Stuart's named after little Mr. Stuart, Stewie Spittler. And he's just a little mini-me of Stewie, looks like. This one's named Bobby. She is named after my favorite singer, Bobby Weir. And this is Mikey. Mikey likes all the food, just like the old commercial. He likes it. Hey, Mikey. And this is Tackham. He's named after my father. And the reason I named him is because my dad was a basketball star for LaPel High School, and their colors are black and gold, just like this little guy.
Grateful Fest returns for its third year, unleashing the fun on Saturday, October 7th at a new location this year, Morrow's Meadow Park in Yorktown. Admission is free. Bring your pet for a day of fun. Walk in the pet parade. All money raised goes to Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary to save homeless animals. For more info, visit gratefulfest.org.
Grateful TV, we thank you for joining us for a look back. And now we're looking forward to the future, of course, right?
Many things to come, Patty.
Oh.
It's every day's exciting. Every day's a new adventure. They come in and they leave, and then they come in again. So
all right,
we just keep living the dream. And if you want to find out what dogs are available, go to gratefulrescue.org. Right, Harry?
Oh, Harry has already found his home, so we're fine. We thank you for joining us again. We'll see you next time on
Grateful Rescue TV.